Let me tell you about the exact moment you lost her, and you didn't even realize it was happening. If you've been part of my community and absorbed the attraction principles I've shared, you understand the mechanics of drawing women into your world. But here's the brutal reality I need you to face today. I'm willing to bet everything that once you transition into a committed relationship, all that knowledge evaporates instantly. Every technique you mastered becomes useless. Every principle you internalized gets thrown out the window. And you'll commit the single deadliest error that destroys everything you built with her. This isn't just any mistake. This is the silent assassin responsible for destroying 90% of romantic relationships. 9 out of 10 couples fall apart because of this one thing I'm about to reveal to you. Think about that number for a second. That's almost everyone. That's your parents, your friends, your coworkers. Almost all of them failed because of this exact same reason. If a woman who was once completely captivated by you eventually walked away, this was almost certainly the culprit behind her departure. A woman's desire for you can reach astronomical heights. She can be consumed by thoughts of you morning to night. She can actively work to earn your approval every single day. She can do everything in her power to keep you satisfied and happy. But the instant you become complacent, that burning attraction doesn't just fade slowly over time. It implodes with terrifying speed. We're talking about complete destruction in a matter of weeks sometimes. This is the critical misunderstanding most men carry with them. They believe securing the woman is the difficult part of the equation. They convince themselves that once she commits to them exclusively, the mission is complete. The game is over. They won. So they let their guard down completely. They abandon every single behavior that ignited her attraction in the first place. They stop doing what worked. They stop being who they were. Then they're genuinely bewildered when she begins creating distance between them. They can't understand why she's acting different now. They wonder what happened to the girl who used to look at them with fire in her eyes. The truth cuts deep, but you need to hear it. She didn't transform into someone else. She didn't suddenly become a different person. Her feelings didn't randomly change for no reason. You did this. You changed first. You stopped being the man she fell for. You became someone else entirely and expected her to remain attracted to this new comfortable version of yourself. That's not how attraction works. That's not how any of this works. She simply responded to the man standing in front of her. And that man wasn't the one she originally chose. Before she committed to you, she was the one making all the investment. She put in the work to impress you every single day. She carefully calibrated her words before speaking them. She thought twice before sending that text message. She channeled her energy into earning your attention and approval constantly. She dressed up hoping you would notice. She laughed at your jokes even when they weren't that funny. She remembered small details about your life because she genuinely cared about keeping you interested. You were the prize she was actively pursuing. She was chasing you and it felt natural to both of you. Then something shifted the moment exclusivity happened. Most men completely invert this hierarchy after gaining her commitment. Suddenly they become the ones scrambling to maintain her satisfaction at all costs. They start monitoring every word that comes out of their mouth. They begin modifying their authentic behavior based on whatever mood she wakes up in. They throw away their own principles just to avoid conflict. Her comfort becomes more important than their own boundaries and self-respect. The moment this shift occurs, you stop being the prize entirely. You transform into the pursuer desperately trying to keep what you already have. You become the one chasing validation from her instead of the other way around. Here's the non-negotiable truth you need to accept today. A woman cannot maintain attraction toward a man she perceives as beneath her position. The biology simply doesn't allow for it. Her brain is wired to desire men she looks up to, not men she looks down upon. This isn't something she consciously decides. It happens automatically without her permission or awareness. Pay attention to your internal dialogue going forward. If you ever catch yourself thinking, "I hope she's not upset with me," that's your warning signal firing. That thought pattern means you've already positioned her above yourself in the relationship hierarchy. You've handed over your power without even realizing you did it. You've made her the authority figure in your own life. A man with genuine standards doesn't spend mental energy worrying about her emotional state constantly. He has more important things occupying his mind. His purpose drives him forward regardless of outside circumstances. If she's upset over something reasonable you did, that's her emotional work to process internally. That's not your emergency to resolve immediately. You're not her therapist or her emotional support animal. Stop trying to manage her feelings around the clock. Your job isn't keeping her perpetually happy because that's an impossible task anyway. Nobody can make another person happy all the time. Your actual job is remaining grounded in your values while she experiences natural emotional fluctuations around you. Let her feel what she feels. Stay solid in who you are regardless. Before commitment she couldn't fully decode you no matter how hard she tried. She didn't have access to your every thought pattern running through your mind. She couldn't predict your feelings about her with any real certainty. There was always something about you she couldn't quite figure out. That information gap between what she knew and what she desperately wanted to know kept her psychologically engaged with you constantly. Women are magnetically drawn to what they cannot completely understand or predict. This is hardwired into their psychology at the deepest level. Mystery generates desire that burns hot and consistent. Predictability murders it slowly and painfully. When she knows exactly what you're thinking at all times, the excitement dies completely. When she can predict your every move before you make it, the attraction fades into nothing. Most men obliterate this element entirely by over-disclosing everything once they feel secure in the relationship. They begin sharing every thought that crosses their mind without any filter. They reveal every emotion they experience throughout the day. They confess every insecurity they've carried since childhood. They dump their entire internal world onto her lap, expecting her to appreciate their openness. They confuse this emotional dumping with authentic vulnerability. They believe being an open book makes them more attractive and trustworthy. They think telling her everything brings them closer together emotionally. This couldn't be further from reality. Strategic vulnerability in measured doses builds genuine connection and trust over time. Sharing something personal occasionally creates intimacy and depth. But vulnerability dumped indiscriminately and constantly builds something else entirely. It builds pity in her heart instead of passion. And pity exists on the complete opposite end of the spectrum from attraction. No woman desires a man she feels sorry for. No woman stays attracted to someone she views as emotionally weak or unstable. Here's how this plays out in everyday conversation between you two. She asks about your day casually, expecting a normal response. Most men immediately provide a comprehensive report covering every activity from sunrise to sunset. They leave absolutely nothing to her imagination. They fill every gap with unnecessary details about mundane tasks. They describe lunch meetings and phone calls and traffic jams in excruciating detail. Try a different approach instead. Keep it simple and short. Tell her it was productive and you handled some important things. Then stop talking about yourself. If she wants additional information, let her invest energy in asking specific follow-up questions. Let her put actual effort into the conversation instead of receiving everything served on a silver platter without any work required from her side. You don't owe anyone a minute-by-minute account of your existence. Maintain portions of your life that remain exclusively yours and nobody else's. Some things are just for you. After commitment is secured, a woman doesn't reduce her testing behavior like most guys assume she will. She amplifies it significantly and consistently. She needs ongoing confirmation that the man she selected still possesses the internal strength to handle her complete personality. That includes all her challenging aspects and difficult moods. She needs to know you won't crumble under pressure when things get uncomfortable. She'll initiate conflicts over seemingly illogical matters that make no rational sense. She'll resurrect old situations from weeks or months past that you thought were already resolved. She'll display disproportionate emotional reactions to minor incidents that shouldn't matter. She'll randomly create distance between you just to observe your response pattern and see if you chase her desperately. Most men catastrophically fail every single one of these evaluations without understanding what's actually happening. She becomes upset about something small and he immediately switches to problem-solving mode trying to fix it. She accuses him of something he clearly didn't do and he launches into defensive explanations. She manufactures conflict out of thin air and he panics completely. He apologizes just to restore temporary peace even though he did nothing wrong. Every time you collapse under this pressure, she loses respect for you internally. The conflict was never actually about the surface level issue she brought up. It was an evaluation of your character and strength. That evaluation had one fundamental question burning in her mind. Is this man still internally strong, or has comfort made him weak and soft? When you crumble and plead for peace every time she applies pressure, her answer to that question becomes crystal clear. You failed the test. You showed weakness when she needed to see strength. Here's exactly how to handle this situation properly when it happens. She initiates an argument over something that defies all logic and reason. You remain completely calm in your body and voice. Don't mirror her emotional intensity no matter how loud she gets. Don't escalate your volume to match hers. Don't raise your voice thinking that will help anything. And most critically, don't apologize for actions you didn't actually commit just to make the fight end faster. Try this response framework instead. Tell her you hear what she's saying clearly, but you're not engaging in an argument about something that doesn't make logical sense to you. When she's ready to discuss this calmly like two adults, you're completely available. Then physically remove yourself from the situation. Walk away. Go engage in another activity that occupies your mind. She'll experience upset emotions for a period of time. Allow that process to unfold naturally without your interference. Don't try rescuing her from her own feelings. When she regains emotional equilibrium, and she absolutely will, she'll hold more respect for you than existed before the conflict even started. Before exclusivity, a compliment from you carried genuine weight and significance because you didn't distribute them every 5 minutes like candy. A date with you felt like an actual reward she earned because it wasn't a nightly guaranteed occurrence. Your affection held tremendous value because it was calibrated and intentional rather than constant and reflexive. Most men flood the woman with attention immediately after commitment happens. Compliments flow every hour on the hour. Gifts appear without any particular reason or occasion. Constant messaging throughout the day without pause. Reflexive declarations of love like it's a nervous compulsion they can't control. They believe more attention automatically equals more love and stronger connection. This assumption is completely backwards. It equals less value across the board. When you grant someone unlimited access to your attention without them earning any of it, that attention becomes meaningless white noise. This is where the punishment and reward framework operates at its highest and most effective level. Your attention, your compliments, your time, these are rewards in the relationship economy. And rewards only function effectively when they're earned through actual effort and investment. She invests genuine effort into the relationship? Reward that behavior appropriately. She cooks an amazing meal for you? Take her somewhere special she's been wanting to go. She supports your goals and ambitions actively? Show genuine appreciation through your words and actions. She respects your boundaries without pushing back constantly? Increase the time allocation you give her. She stops investing effort and starts coasting? The rewards stop flowing proportionally to her decreased investment. This isn't pettiness or playing childish games with someone's emotions. It's natural consequence operating exactly how it should. You don't deliver premium first-class treatment to someone providing minimal economy-level effort consistently. Most men fear withdrawing attention because they genuinely believe she'll leave them for someone else. But here's the reality that needs to penetrate your understanding today. A woman will never abandon a man whose attention she must actively earn through her actions. She leaves the man whose attention is suffocating her with its constant, overwhelming availability. All 5 elements we discussed today. Scarcity dying completely. Power dynamic inverting to her favor. Mystery evaporating into predictability. Frame breaking under pressure. Attention inflating to worthlessness. None of these destructive patterns were caused by her actions or behavior. You did all of it to yourself through your own choices. She didn't request you clear your entire calendar for her. She didn't ask you to position her on an untouchable pedestal. She didn't ask you to reveal your complete psychology in one marathon conversation. She didn't ask you to fold every single time she tested your strength. She didn't ask you to shower her with unearned constant attention. Before you go, make sure you subscribe because the next video reveals something even more critical to keeping her long-term.